Good morning, students. As you know, we are discussing about the mathematics part 2, lesson number 3, circle. In this topic, we discussed also. Actually, the circle lesson is a combination of the two topics. One is the tangent and second is arc. So up to the last session, that was a practice set 3.2, and before the whatever the theorems we studied, it's related to the tangent concepts. And now the remaining part 2 is started of the lesson, that is the arc of the circle. And today we are going to discuss about the arc concept. Arc of the circle, if you remember from standard 6 you are studying here, that is arc means what? It's a part of. This is already it's a part of a circle. This is the common thing which you studied already in the previous class. For example, suppose you have a circle. We have a circle which is drawn with the center O, and from the circle, if one any secant is passed, suppose line L is the secant. So, for example, look at here, secant a line which intersects the circle in two distinct points. So, we will consider this is point A, here it is point B, and what we are going to do, we will take one more point on it. For example, suppose here it is taken as the X point. Now look at it. Line L is the secant which intersects the circle in two distinct points, that is A and the B. And because of the end point of this secant, A and the B, our circle is divided into two parts. See here. I'll make a little bit shading part. This one. Because of which it is line secant L, the circle is divided into two parts from the point A and B, which are end points. These are the end points of a secant. And so your circle is divided into two parts. This side also one point I'll take, it is one. So what is mentioned here? Circle means what? Arc of the circle. Arc is a part of a circle. Last year, standard 8. Sorry, in standard 8 also we discussed, and as well as in the 9th. So arc, as well as 6 and 7 also this topic was the name, write the name of an arc. Okay, so now because of the secant, your circle is divided into two parts with the end point A and the B. One part is, so that is AXB, and second part here is, that is AYB. Two parts are formed, by which this is the, because of the secant which passes through the circle from the point A and the B. And this is the boundary, that is circumference. So here arc AXB is known as this is a minor arc. And the next one arc, that is AYB. AYB is known as a major arc. These two are. Means the line secant which passes from a circle, and very important thing it will be passed, it is, see, while passing the center of the circle is O, it's not passing from the center, just leaving the center it pass. To here we get two parts, one is the smaller part and second is the greater part. The smaller part, that is known as a minor, and the greater part is known as a major. One more possibility, suppose your secant, if your secant which passes through the center of the circle, here that is, this is A, that is B, then X, and that is Y. Let's see now the second possibility. What we saw here, the secant line L. The secant line L which passes through the center. In the previous example, if you see here, what it happened? Here is the O center. Center of the circle is here, but the secant is not touched to the center O. Just little bit back, just down of the center it passed, and because of it what it happened, a circle is divided, a circular arc, a circumference is divided into two parts. One is a smaller part and second is a greater. Smaller minor and greater is major, but here the condition is opposite. The line secant which passes through the center of the circle. So what is going to happen? If you see here, we get two equal parts. It's like, suppose you are eating a laddu. If you cut it equally, you will get two equal parts, as well as one Another lemonade. Suppose you have the lemon. If you cut it, same example, you can get two equal parts are there. So if you see the boundaries, the circumference of both the arc, so that will be here arc. We can write it. That is arc AX B, and next is what? Arc AYB is known as the semicircular arc. Let's see. According to the angular measure, when we decide obtuse angle, acute angle, and right angle, similarly, we have to discuss about the arc of the circle also. Mostly, the arc also divided into three types. One is here, and that is discussion will reach up to. That is what? Minor arc, major arc, and semicircle. Let's see now. If you consider this whole circle, it is circumference. The whole, this is the length. The circumference of circle is the 360. One rotation. If you do the half part, here you will get 180. Here also you will get the 180. Means what are that? The measure of a semicircular arc is how much are that? 180 degree. The measure of semicircular arc is 180, and now you see measure of minor arc. So simple it will be, that is what? So it is less than what? 180 degree. And measure of major arc is what? It is more than. So you can write it's a more than 180 degree. So this is the calculation C. The measure of minor arc is less than 180. Measure of, suppose which it is major arc, it's a more than 180. And suppose, now we'll form the formula. Suppose you have the value of a measure of minor arc. And if you want to find here measure of a major arc. If you want to find the measure of major arc, simply you can do what? 360 degree, full. The circumference value, that is 360 minus measure of a, which it is minor arc. Standard 8. From 8 standard we are doing, it's not a new. So measure of a major arc, which is equal to 360 minus measure of minor. Similarly, suppose you have the value of which it is major arc, and if you are finding the minor arc, so that's why measure of a minor, here we can find it. Measure of a minor arc, which is equals to 360 degree minus measure of a major, that is major arc it will be. So this is the formula we can get if you want to find the values, and if you know out of any one arc's major. So if you know minor arc, we can find the major by subtracting 360 minus minor. If you know major 360 minus major, then we can get the minor arc. After this, the next topic we'll see. This was the arc concept: minor, major, and semicircular. The next topic we'll discuss, that also very familiar. We are studying from standard 8, and that one topic is central angle. See, central angle. From standard 8, we are doing this simple thing. An angle whose vertex, angles are right, your angle's vertex is center of the circle. Center of a circle. Simple definition. An angle whose vertex is the center of the circle is known as the central angle. See, look at here. Here we have a circle which is drawn with the center O. And here only one angle is formed. That is angle A, O, and this is B. If we calculate center of the circle is O, but one more angle is formed. That is what? AOB. So angle AOB is known as what? It's a central angle. And in the central angle, we can see the central angle also cut your circular arc into two parts. One is here. This is one part, and remaining is here. By the observation, you can see. Suppose here I will take X and this one I will take it as Y. So what is going to happen? The length here will come to know. So this is what? It's a minor arc. And the remaining one, it's what? So that is the major arc. When central angle also forming the, here what they are forming? So that is arc. Because the arms of the angle which cut the circumference into 2 points, that is A and next is the B. So we form here two what are there? This we get two arcs. One is a minor and second is the major. So central angle. Now, if you remember in standard 8 we studied the relation between the central angle, intercepted arc, and what it is corresponding minor arc. So look at here, this is minor arc. Now the next topic we have to see, that is what? Intercepted arc. Always I am asking this question to the students. See, what is the definition of the intercepted arc? Simple thing it is. It's the length of an arc. See, this is the length of an arc between two arms. Here, two arms of an angle. Make your diagram. Look at it. In our diagram, angle AOB is a central angle. So because of this, here your minor arc is formed. That is which one? AXB. So length of arc AXB is known as what? Intercepted arc. It's written length of an arc between of the two arms. Between of the two arms. So here we can say arc AXB is what? It is intercepted. Here intercepted arc. We can get. Arc AXB is the intercepted arc. It's the length of an arc between of the two arms. And now we'll see the relation. Always, here I write it. This is what? Always here the measure. Here we can say the measure of whose it is? Central angle. Central angle which is equals to its what? Here corresponding minor arc. Here we can. And you only see this minor arc is only what? It means intercepted. Intercepted arc. So here I write it. That is what? It's a intercepted arc. The measure of a central angle which is equals to the measure of the corresponding, which it is corresponding here minor arc, otherwise we can say intercepted arc. This is very important. This relation which we study now, which we discuss. Okay, central angle and its intercepted arc, both measurements are same. Now after that, the next concept we'll see. Suppose you have two circles, otherwise in one circle only, will justify with the radius. That is what? Congruence. Congruence of arc. This topic will see. When two arcs will be congruent. So simple thing, with same radii. With same here radii. If the radius of the circle will be same, then that arc's measure also will be same. For example, here we have a circle which is drawn with the center O. If we join here, now let's see. O is the center. Take this is A, this one is B, and here it is C. So here radius here we get, that is what? The radius of the circle. Here AO which is equals to OB which is equals to OC. These are what? These are radii of a circle. So these are the radii of the circle. So obviously the angle, the arcs which will be formed by them, if we find it, suppose here is given and the theta also are same. This theta and that theta are same. So what is going to happen? Here I'll take x, this is y and this side is z. So radius and the theta, if it will be same, so the value of this arc, which arc? Arc AXB which is equals to next arc we are going to get, that is BYC, and also it is equals to the next, which arc will be there? That is AZC. Means when two arcs are equal, if the measure of their radii are same. If the radius will be same, the arc also will be same. Now last topic we'll see, that is what? Properties of the measuring of Measures of some of the measures of the arcs here. Last and very important topic of this. So let's see. This is the properties of what? It's a sum of measures of an arc. This topic we are discussing, very important it is. If you are adding the arcs, which property has to be used and what is the property that we have to discuss? So see, there is the name of the simply I can tell you here. There is one and only one common point. Suppose here we have a circle which is drawn with some center O, and on this circle we'll take some points. For example, this is point A. After here we have the point B. Here we have point C. Here we have next point is the D, and here we have the point E. So look at here how many points we have. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, and 5 points are there. So there are 5 points are there, and common sense in the 5 points this is 1. So this is the 1 and only one common point we get. Only one common point here we got. Suppose we think here C is the common point. Obviously now let's see from the C 1, 2, 3, from the C 1, 2, 3, your circumference is divided into 2 equal parts. So let's see one and only one. And suppose we are discussing the sum. If you want to find the total length of the arc here, means sum of the arc from the C point by guessing the C as a common, means which it will be, we guess C is, means here suppose measure of arc, which ACE, here we take ACE, which is equals to, we find it what, the C is the common point. From the C if you want to calculate the arcs, so let's see which arc will comes for the total length. Arc ACE we are finding, so here it will be measure of arc, which it will be, so first here we get arc ABC we get. So here we will write arc ABC plus from the C vertex common in this another arc you will find, so that will be measure of another arc, that is CDE. Let's see now which arcs are there. If you consider your C is as common point, one only common point, to the total arc, that is ACE's length, which is equal to always ABC plus CDE, this plus this. And suppose if you will think, if C is not a common point, C is not a common point, so what is going to happen if you guess it? And in that condition, suppose you want to find which it is here, measure of arc, measure of which arc, so that is ACE. You are finding the measure of ACE, and just now we thought this is not a common point. How we can find it? So for finding this one from the C vertex, suppose if you do that, the measure of arc, which it is ABC, suppose plus next it is measure of arc, next one which it will be, just we are trying, that is with ABC plus what, next is that here we say C is not a common, so for example suppose you will write ABC plus BCE or BCE if you do. So let's see what is going to happen. Our AC is total length, ACE from here, A to C to E, these 3 points are there. If you want to find total length, what we did, our ABC first we did, so ABC, we consider BC, and next one from the B vertex, again if you added BCE, so what is going to happen in the both the arc you will see, this BC will be the common arc is repeated here, and that value will be not equal. So there is, means if you take suppose another B is the point, from the B if you will find the total length, it will be not, means hardly suppose AB, ABC plus which it will be all points on that, the BC. So ABC plus BCE. In that, the value of the arc BC is repeating twice only. So while adding the two arcs, just consider which is the common point, and from the common point you can divide the given arc into two parts. So that is going to help you for the total here length of this arc. So this was a little bit the basic topic, basic knowledge about the sum of the arc. And after this, today we will discuss the important VIP theorem. Here we are going to discuss the relationship between of the corresponding arc with its corresponding arc with its which it will be chords and the arc relation. VIMP theorem. See now, VIMP theorem. So if you remember the first theorem we discussed, that was one and only 1 3 non-collinear ka. Second was tangent from external. Third was the touching of the circle. Fourth, now we are studying theorem. Statement is, here we will see the chords corresponding to the congruent arcs of a circle are congruent. Let's see now what we are studying. Important theorem. You have written one for it. Important theorem. Okay. The chords corresponding to congruent arc of a circle are congruent. Means what are here? Here they gave us the congruent arcs. The arc here, two arcs of circles are congruent. Let's see, we will verify with the diagram. Congruent arcs means what? The arcs which is drawn with the same radius. For example, suppose we can here take, that is the center. Here we take 3 radius. For example, this is A, this one is B, and here we have C. Now AOB is a central angle, BOC also central angle. If you join AB, called AB's form. If you join, which it is, if you join BC, so what is going to form? The next chord, and on it we can take, suppose here is the P point and here is the Q points. So P, AP, APB and BQC, these are the arcs are here. See, the chords corresponding to congruent arc. Congruent, what are the congruent arcs? So congruent arcs means what are there? So these arcs are formed with the same radius. So that's why your circle, the circle which is drawn with the center O, you can mention here O is what? So O is center of a circle. And what are the main thing they gave us? So here that is arc A, arc APB and arc BQC. These two arcs are congruent. So we can say here arc APB, which is congruent to the next arc. Which next arc? That is BQC. Arc APB and arc BQC. These are the congruent arcs. Then what we have to prove? So here it is. We'll repeat again. The chords of corresponding congruent arc of a circle are congruent. Means you have to prove chords also congruent. So where is the chord? The chord is here. So that means what? You have to show here chord AB, which is congruent to next chord, that is BC. Chord AB and chord BC, these two chords are congruent to each other. Let's see now the comparison. Like one thing I'll just do it here. I just showed with the adjacent now. I'll little bit show you a different view. This way, like this. For example, here AQ, APB, and here it is next one. Sorry, yeah, this is one is has to be written. For it, I'll write it. This is DQC. So means here arc APB is congruent to the next arc. Sorry, this time it's happened here. Okay, one common adjacent angle was written. So here we have the point. Already given thing is arc APB, which is congruent to arc DQC, which is given here, and we have to prove chord AB, which is congruent to the chord DC. It is like this. If arcs are congruent, then chords are we have to show congruent. Let's see now comparison. If here 1, 2, 3, 4, all these 4 lines, these are what? Radii of a same circle. So simply here in the proof, no need of any construction. We can start here. That is what? Therefore, in triangle, which it is in triangle AOB, and next triangle is what? It's a DOC. In both the two triangles, immediately here we come to know what is that. But before this, what is the given thing that we will use it? What are that? They gave us here. Arc APB, which is congruent to the arc. Next is the DQC first, and it is given. Let's see. Arc APB and arc DQC, these two arcs are congruent. So these two arcs are formed by whom? So that is the central angle. Which is the central angle? So APB ka AOB and DQC ka angle DOC it is. So immediately we can write it arc APB. APB means which angle? So here therefore arc APB, which is equals to angle, which it is AOB, and next is what? Arc DQC, which is equals to DQC is the intercepted arc by central angle, that is DOC. Write it the reason. It's a what? This is the definition of minor arc. See, what is here? The minor arc and corresponding minor arc and central angle. Always they are congruent to each other. So that's why arc APB, which is equals to angle AOB, and next is arc DQC, which is equals to the angle DOC. Here we get. Already they said APB and DQC are congruent, and we prove कि arc and angles are congruent, so obviously you are going to get angle AOB, which is equals to the angle congruent to the angle. Which congruent to the angle? DOC. This is the which statement? This is the third number statement. So see, we prove the relation between the corresponding minor arcs with the central angle. We come to know कि this angle AOB and angle DOC they are congruent. And now comparison we can start. So in the comparison, see here, we can start with the segment AO. Segment AO, which is congruent to this segment, we can take, which it will be, that is your OD. What is your radii of the same circle? Immediately between of the angle, just now we find it, angle AOB. So here you can prove angle AOB, which is congruent to the angle DOC. Here we can write it's from 3. Listen children, in your textbook this relation is not given because they consider your previous knowledge, so that's why directly is written angle AOB and DOC. But here we showed with the help of the definition of a minor arc, and so we prove the angle AOB and angle DOC they are congruent. And the last segment which is left here we can show, so that is the segment OB, which is congruent to the next segment, that is what? It's a OC, it's also a radii. And so then your triangle AOB, which is congruent to the next triangle, it's a DOC by SAS. So by SAS, these two triangles are congruent. When two triangles are congruent, corresponding sides and corresponding angle. Look at here, these two triangles AOB and DOC, they are congruent. We know that when two triangles are congruent, corresponding side and corresponding angle, which is the side here. Therefore, we can say segment AB, which is congruent to the next segment, that is BC, corresponding side of congruent triangle. Pay attention to here. This is CSCT, and so AB is the segment, but AB is the chord because its two end point lies on the circumference. As well as this is DC also segment, but its 2 points lie on the circumference. So that's why these are the chord of the circle. Segment means here we can say chord. So therefore we can say this because of the given condition. So here A and B lies on the circumference, so it became as a chord. So this is chord AB, which is congruent to the next it is chord BC. So this was our proof. So what we showed here, if you have the corresponding arcs are congruent, so obviously what is going to happen, that corresponding chord also will be congruent to each other. I hope you understand this. So today's summary means that only if arcs are congruent, then what will happen? Here chords also congruent. This is the summary for today. If corresponding arcs are congruent, then corresponding chords also will be congruent. In the next session, we will discuss about its converse. Okay, thank you very much.